Hi, welcome to K Sports Sunday. Today, January 30th, 2011. I'm Alex Barth, joined by another kid named Alex and Jason. We have a great show lined up for you today. Super Bowl 45 is just a week away, and the Hype Week opens the door for us to look at the All-Star weekends in two sports, the NHL, the Pro Bowl today, and the NHL All-Star Game. We're going to discuss which game we think is best. We'll be joined by the original broadcast voice of the Anaheim Ducks, who'll join us to talk about the NHL All-Star Game and all things West Coast. And we have a little Super Bowl hype, but we're going to put the Patriots to bed, unfortunately. The season ended last 2 weeks ago with the loss to the Jets. And the Englanders go one-on-one with each other to talk about college basketball rankings and a whole lot more. So joining me in the studio, like I said, we have Alex and Jason. And guys, let's get the show started.
Yep.
All right, so tonight, the best of the best in the NHL and the NFL show their stuff on this All-Star Day in Hawaii and North Carolina. Two completely different worlds. The best of their sports going at it. Does anybody really care, though? Which All-Star Game offers the best competition? Earlier, the Back Talk crew of Kurt, Patrick, and Jeff had their say on which All-Star Game offers the most bang.
Hey guys, I'm Jeff Davidson. We're over here on the set of Back Talk, and I'm joined today by Kurt and Patrick. Hey guys, how's it going?
Good.
Today we're going to be, examining what sport has the best All-Star game and why. So let's start off with Kurt. Kurt?
Well, I'm on the side of hockey because I really do love hockey. I play it and stuff. I think the way it's the best is just it's a lot of fun for the people. They get to hang out, try to beat each other, and like the skills before it, I think it just has a lot of fun for them, and it's kind of a break from all that suspension from the real regular season, and it just energizes them up. And
that's a great point. Patrick, do you have anything to add?
Yeah, I'd like to say that the NBA is like a great shootout game, and it's a lot of fun, and like a high-scoring game, usually is like 150 points for each team, and players just get to have a fun time, and the audience gets to see all their favorite players, LeBron James, Dwayne Wade, and that's why I guess it's so popular in recent years.
Mm-hmm. And I would like to add that, for me personally, I believe that baseball is the best one. Number one, because, it's been going on since 1933, where it was first introduced at the World's Fair. And, it's always a combination of, local teams' favorite players stepping on the big stage. And, the argument I have against you guys is that, where's the defense in these All-Star games? Baseball is the only game that really stays constant and doesn't change, because the pitching, is always top performance. The hitting is always top performance. On, whether it's basketball or hockey, they're, slowing up, not trying to play defense because, nobody wants to get hurt. But that's not present in, baseball. Do you guys have anything to say about that?
well, yeah, I mean, definitely hockey. I know they don't play much defense, but they're definitely back there. But offense, it's definitely about finesse. They try to score. Like you said, it's always high scoring, even if it's NBA. Baseball, it's high scoring. No one really cares about the defense. It's kind of who scores the most points. It's not who gives up the least. Something.
Yep, definitely a game of offense.
Yeah.
Patrick?
That's what draws fans to watch these All-Star games, like big performances from people like Kevin Durant and LeBron James. They want to see a lot of scoring.
Definitely. All right, well, thanks, guys, and it's been great talking with you. This is Jeff Davidson from Back Talk Sports. See you guys later. Thanks.
Anaheim, California, we have veteran sportscaster Chris Madsen, play-by-play voice of the Anaheim Ducks. Hi, Chris. Welcome to the show. Hi, Chris. Welcome to the show. 1 second. We have some technical difficulties going on. Hi, Chris. What's going on?
Hey, what's going on, guys?
We're doing good. So, what do you think of the NHL All-Star Game so far?
I wouldn't want to be a goaltender, I can tell you that. They're going to be kicking their wives and girlfriends in their sleep tonight. 10 different goal scorers on the goal scoring sheet already, and I don't know if you've been watching any of the any of the game today, but they've been scoring in bunches. Eric Stahl's team scored the first 4 goals of the game. Then you had Nicholas Lidstrom's club responding with 4 consecutive goals in their game, and then Stahl has come back with 2 more. So last I saw, it was a 6-4 lead second period in favor of Team Stahl.
So I know that there have been some talks about there not being an NFL season next year. What do you think about that? Do you think that'll happen?
Well, you know what? I think that they're going to try to avoid it at all costs. I really like the first move on the chessboard made by the commissioner by stating publicly a week ago that if indeed they do lose part of the season, that he'll only take $1 for his compensation, and this is a guy whose base salary is $10 million plus. And I think that puts some pressure on the players. I think that we're living in a very different age as far as the NFL is concerned. This isn't back in the days when guys were getting $8,000 or $10,000 a year to play football. You've seen the deal that Tom Brady got, the deal that's on the table for Peyton Manning. I mean, these guys are very well taken care of. And I think that if you take a look at the way the money is divvied up amongst the players, especially in light of their hefty TV and broadcasting contracts, I got to say the NFL players have a pretty good deal right now.
So I know this is the talk everywhere, but who do you think is going to win the Super Bowl and why?
I got to tell you, I'm not going to make many friends by saying this because I'm a native Chicagoan, but I believe the Packers are going to win the game. And the only reason why I say that is because I think that you have a team right now that is absolutely clicking on all cylinders no matter where they play. Bear in mind, in order to get to the Super Bowl, the Packers had to win 3 consecutive games on the road. And they not only won those games, but they won them in fairly convincing fashion. And I think that even though you have a multi-Super Bowl hero in Ben Roethlisberger at the helm and obviously a load to take down, very effective on third downs, I think that's where the Packers defense is going to have to really come and stand their ground and really take the game away from Green Bay. But I believe when the final second ticks off, I believe that Aaron Rodgers and the Packers are going to be your Super Bowl champions for this year.
So, Chris, being out there on the West Coast, obviously there's been lots of talk in recent years about the wanting of bringing an NFL team to LA. If that happened, what team do you think would have the greatest chance of moving out there, or would they just start up a new team?
Well, you know, they're always leveraging the San Diego Chargers down south, and we all know that the Chargers had a disappointing season by any standard. And there's always talk of, boy, how convenient would it be to be able to move a club, basically, 2 hours away from Los Angeles to Los Angeles that already has an identity here. But I think that the elements that are in play right now that I have seen for the first time since the departure of the LA Rams is the fact that you now have big-name players like former NBA star Magic Johnson. You know, he was willing to forego part ownership of the Lakers in order to go in and sort of test the waters a little bit, see how much interest there would be in bringing the team. And then Philip Anschutz, the owner of the Los Angeles Kings and an entertainment giant, along with his president, Tim Leiweke, you now sort of have that proverbial hat trick of power players here in Los Angeles that are trying to put together, the site, the money, the wherewithal to really make inroads in a town that, when you think about football, prior to the last couple of years, it was dominated by a college football team, USC.
So, a play-by-play question now. You do hockey play-by-play, and most people say of the major 4 sports, that's the hardest one to do. Would you agree?
Can I tell you a wonderful story? Back in 1993-94 was my first season in the National Hockey League, and I was invited to a very exclusive awards dinner for Vin Scully, who's now in his 60th plus season. That's 60 plus season with the Los Angeles Dodgers, and arguably the greatest sportscaster ever. And at the end of him receiving his award for Sportscaster of the Year, as the room was sort of thinning out, I was sitting there, and all of a sudden, I get a tap on my shoulder. Vin had been sitting kitty corner for me. He goes, "Chris, I marvel at the way you and Bob Miller, who's the voice of the King, call a hockey game. And I was sort of like, well, somebody pinched me. I think I'm going to broadcasting heaven. I mean, here I am actually having a conversation with Vin Scully, and Vin said to me, he said, you know what, Chris, I believe of all the four major sports, he said, I believe that hockey is by far the most difficult to call. And I said, well, I would like to respectfully disagree. And I said, I'm going to tell you why. I said, I've called baseball. And I said, let's give you an example. Let's say at the time Ryne Sandberg was still playing for the Cubs. He was playing second base. I said, let's say Sandberg goes out with an injury tonight and the Cubs come tomorrow, and they got to pull up a guy from AAA to play second base. Now, that guy that you probably know very little about is going to be up 3-4 times tonight. Balls are going to be hit to him at second base. Every time, bear in mind, Vince Scully calls a game by himself, does not use an analyst to fill the time. I said every time he does something on the field, you have to somehow come up with something fresh and different. But the thing is he may come up to bat first time up and foul 10 pitches off. He may be up there for 8-10 minutes, and you're still talking about a guy that you probably didn't know from Adam from the night before. And I said, you know what the crazy is? You got to do the same thing tomorrow night, the night after that, and maybe even a fourth night. So I really believe that, certainly the one unique thing about hockey is you better know 20 names and numbers on both sides of the ledger, 40 names in all, coaches, assistant coaches, trainers, so on and so forth, like the back of your hand, because it is a game, unlike baseball, that allows players to change on the fly. But I think because of the natural dead air time of baseball, I honestly believe that baseball is the far more difficult game to call.
All right, thank you very much, Chris. It's been a pleasure having you.
Anytime. Give me a shout.
Definitely. All right, we're going to go to a break right now, and when we come back, a lot more great K Sports Sunday on the other side, so stick around.
You betcha.
I'm Max Kleiman for YBA Sports,
giving young people the chance and the training to be young broadcasters. That's how YBA started.
Hey guys, and welcome to another episode of Back Talk Entertainment.
So Ashley, why are businesses using Facebook?
Well, the really cool thing about Facebook...
Over 370 hours of live student-produced webcast, including the first professional sports event broadcast entirely by kids. That is only the beginning of the story of Young Broadcasters of America.
Parents rave about their child's improvement in confidence, poise, and communication skills. But it doesn't come as any surprise to us because we teach Generation Tech how to talk using TV broadcast skills, and the results are amazing.
This is the oral communications piece that nobody else has.
With a whole generation communicating more through technology than face-to-face, Young Broadcasters of America has created a curriculum for voice articulation that is now available at YBA Online.
IPI stands for inflection, pronunciation, intonation, and enunciation.
Connecting professional broadcasters with young people has given the next generation of TV talent an edge in communication, in school, and in life.
What opportunity do you have as a kid to get in front of a camera, to get behind a mic, to learn how to actually do it? This is the only opportunity he's ever had.
Justin, it's good to be sitting right next to you. Nice to be here.
They learned everything. They learned behind the camera, in front of the camera, editing, just so much poise, and they really enjoyed it. It was an awesome experience.
Perhaps best of all, the young people who train with Young Broadcasters of America